Hello guys, how you doing? Great, my name is Stan and I'm pretty much happy and excited to be here just to speak a word into your life. Today I just want to talk to us on something that I think is really key and important, and it's about the people in your life. See, there is something that you may not recognize, something that you may not necessarily see, at first hand, but to be honest, each and every person that is in your life is on an assignment. Every person that is in your life is on an assignment. And to be honest, it's either the assignment they carry in your life is either to bring promotion or to bring distraction. In other words, you need to sit back, relax, and begin to figure it out for yourself. What value of the people in your life are adding to your life? Are they adding any value, or they're actually taken from you? And in the same manner, you also need to realize that you are on assignment in someone else's life. So the big question is, are you adding value to the life of the people in whose life you are in, or you are taking value from their lives? You see, you may not realize it. Everybody is on assignment. And the honest truth is, you are in either one of two assignments. You are either pushing the divine will of God in someone else's life, or you are pushing the diabolic will of Satan. So the big question you need to ask yourself is, on whose assignment am I on? Whose assignment have I answered to? See, the sad and most unfortunate thing is that a lot of people are pushing the diabolic will of Satan, and they don't even know it. They don't even know it. They are pushing the diabolic will of Satan, and they don't even know it. And if they knew that they are pushing the diabolic will of Satan, they wouldn't be pushing it. But you know how it is. My people perish because of the lack of knowledge. People are destroyed because they lack knowledge. They have no idea what they are doing, but they keep on doing it. If only folks knew that the assignment they are pushing is not necessarily of God, they wouldn't be doing it. They wouldn't be doing it. So right now, as you're seated right there, I need you to begin to think about the people in your life, and also to think about the people in whose life you are in. Ask yourself, what value are they bringing to my life? What value are they adding to my life? And you also figure out, what value am I adding to someone else's life? Obviously, I am in your life by the means of video. The fact that you're watching this video, it simply means I'm also in your life. And the big question is, what value am I adding to your life? I am pretty much convinced that the only thing I have at heart for you, the only thing I have at heart is your best interest. I have nothing but your best interest at heart. And I need you to also ask yourself, do you have the best interest of the people in your life at heart? What is it that matters to you the most? Is it their soul? What is it that matters the most in your life? Is it how they are being a blessing, not necessarily to you, but even to the people around them? You need to understand that each and every one of us carries an assignment. But the big question is, from who? This assignment that we carry is from who? You see, the thing is, God needs people in order to advance a purpose on the earth. And Satan also needs people in order to advance a purpose in the earth. And the reason why God needs people and the reason why Satan needs people is simply because we all know that God is a spirit, and also Satan is a spirit. And spirits cannot function and operate in the earth unless they have a body. So they need a body of a living being in order for them to operate in the earth. In other words, it is illegal for spirits to function and operate in the earth. It is illegal. They can't function and operate in the earth. So what do they need in order for them to function? They need a body. And so the big question is, to whom have you loaned your body? Who is it that is controlling your way of thinking? Who is it that is controlling your way of feeling? Who is it that is controlling your way of acting? Because whoever controls the way you feel, the way you think, and the way you act is the one who determines the way you live, and then determines the kind of an assignment that you carry in the earth. So you need to sit down with yourself and begin to analyze your actions, and also analyze the actions of the people around you. You need to understand, who is it that is sitting on the steering wheel of their lives? Who is it that is driving their lives? Who is it that matters to them the most? Is it God? Who is it that is actually pushing the agendas in their life? Is it God? I mean, these are some of the questions you need to ask yourself, that even as I'm advancing, what exactly am I advancing and whose purpose am I really advancing? Because either way, I'm going to advance a purpose. Whether I like it or I don't, I am pushing an agenda. Either way, I'm pushing an agenda. Whether I know it, whether I've been briefed, whether I've been told about it or not, either way, I am pushing an agenda. And the big question is, whose agenda am I pushing? And that's the very same question you need to ask yourself. Whose agenda am I pushing? You see, one interesting thing in this whole thing, you don't necessarily need to meet with the devil in you to push a diabolic assignment. You don't. You don't. So you need to ask yourself, whose agenda am I pushing? And the people in my life, whose agenda are they pushing? Whose purposes, whose plans, whose will are they pushing? Who is it that matters to them the most? You know, I was just talking to somebody this afternoon. I was just talking to this young man I'd led to Christ earlier, some time ago. And, you know, I led him to Jesus. He got saved. And then from there, he just started sort of avoiding me. He's, you know, I just can't see him. You know, he's just avoiding me. And so I was asking him, and I was saying, okay, talk to me. From the time you gave your life to Jesus, I haven't seen you that much, and you haven't been to the house of the living God. And then I was just talking to him about his commitment with the Lord, and he was like, oh, I'm so sorry, man, I just can't make a commitment. And then I really wondered, why can't you make a commitment? Because you already made a commitment, but you're saying you can't make a commitment. So I was wondering, why can't you make a commitment? And then the young man told me that the reason why he can't make a commitment is similar because he might say, yes, I'm going to come to church. Yes, I'm going to come to the prayer meeting. Yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going to do that. But then something else will come up. Like some other people will come up. Some people that are not even going to church. Some people that are not even doing anything to do with the kingdom. And he just doesn't seem to want to disappoint those people. So he will hang around with those people, not because he wants to hang around with them. No, he just doesn't want to disappoint them. And one of the reasons why he doesn't want to disappoint them is because he wants to feel accepted. He's fighting and battling with rejection. He wants to feel accepted. And, you know, as he was telling me this question just came in, this whole subject just came into my head, and the subject was the people in your life, they are on assignment. Imagine if the people in your life, what they do is they keep you away from God. That's what they do. The people in your life, the only thing they're doing is they're keeping you away from God. What kind of an assignment do you think they have in your life? And the sad thing is they're not keeping you away from God deliberately. They don't even know they're keeping you away from God. No, they don't even know. The thing is, they just inviting you for a drink, and they don't even know you're supposed to be in the house of God. They don't even know you're supposed to be in church because you don't want to tell them you're supposed to be in church. Why? Because you are so afraid that they may begin to scorn you or laugh at you, and because you're trying to be accepted, and you just avoid and miss church. And when you see a brother from church, you run away from the brother from church. If you see a sister from church, you run away from the sister from church. Why? Simply because you have this circle of people that you just want to feel accepted around. But the big question is, in that particular circle of friends, what exactly are they doing? Do they have your best interest at heart? What are they doing? Are they advancing the plans and the purposes of the living God concerning your life? Are they really being a blessing? Are they adding anything of significance or anything of value into your life? I mean, these are some of the questions that we just need to ask. And you need to also ask yourself, if somebody keeps you away from the house of the living God and keeps you away from prayer and keeps you away from meeting with the saints, you need to know that automatically that particular person is on an assignment, in as much as that person may not be aware of the assignment they carry, but they have a very destructive assignment. But here is the beautiful part, a beautiful twist to this whole thing. You also have an assignment in their life. See, you are the one who have heard about this God. You are the one who has heard about this Jesus. And guess what? The Bible records and it says, to him more is given, much more is expected. The fact that you know these particular things, then you have a responsibility to disciple and evangelize to these particular individuals. In as much as they may have been taking you in the wrong direction and taking you to the wrong place and causing you to do the wrong things, but you can also make a decision to say, no, I'm going to be bold about my faith, and you become a blessing to them. You become a blessing to them, and then you begin to direct them in the way that they should go. You become that blessing, that thing that is so much needed in their lives, and you become a carrier of a good news that will elevate and take their lives to another level. You see, maybe when you begin to talk to them about it for the first time, they may not believe you. They may scorn you and begin to call you names. It's okay. It's okay if they begin to call you names. It's okay if they reject you. It's okay if they run away from you. It's okay. It's similar because they're not aware of that which you carry. And the devil is afraid. On that note, I just have to make it clear, the devil is afraid that if only they can get to know what you know. So he tries to keep them away from you. Then he tries to make them start calling you names. He then tries to make them sort of like they have rejected you. It's okay. Let them reject you. It's not a big deal. But at some point, they're going to come looking for you. Why? Because at some point, they will realize that you are a carrier of the good news. They'll realize that the words you speak are the words of life. So in other words, it's okay if they reject you now, because sooner or later, they'll be coming looking for you, because you'll be the answer to their problems. You've been answer to their problems. I remember this one time, there was this one brother. He's a Muslim brother. So many times he tells me, oh, no, don't worry. You don't have to pray for me. I'm a Muslim brother. But this one day, I was just passing, and then he stopped me. And he was like, please, man of God, I need you to pray for me. Things are not okay in my life. I got problems. I got this kind of problem, and that kind of problem. The same Muslim brother that never wanted to hear me pray or hear the word of the living God stops me and it says, brother, I want you, please pray for me. Please pray for me. It's simply because at one point he may have rejected me, but he later on realized when he was in trouble that he was in need of that which I carry. So in other words, I am a blessing to this brother. And I didn't close my mouth or shun away or say, oh, the brother is a Muslim brother. I can't talk to him about Jesus and I can't share a prayer with him. No, I did my part. I was a blessing. And when you represent yourself and carry yourself as a blessing and being that particular person that God has called you to be, adding value in the lives of the people around you, that's simply what it is. You just have to become that particular person who carries a divine assignment. In other words, you need to tell yourself that I carry a divine assignment. In the lives of all the people around me, I carry a divine assignment. And you begin to tell yourself every day when you wake up in the morning that I am a blessing to the people around me. And then make sure that you close doors. You close any kind of door where the enemy will bring in his kind of people to mess you up. So in other words, when anybody comes into your life, they need to know you for who you are. See, there are certain things that people will never say in my presence. There are certain things that people will never do in my presence. Why? Because they know who I am. They know who I am. They know me as a blessing in their lives, and they know me as a man of the living God in their lives. And in as much as they may want to do something crazy, they just can't do it. In as much as they want to do something funny, they just can't do it. Why? Because they know me as a man of God. You need to stamp your identity. Your identity has to be clear. No compromises in this thing. You don't compromise. You state clearly who you are. I am a blessing. And that's exactly what I am. I carry an assignment, a divine assignment, and I need to push that. And I'm pushing a divine assignment. And make sure that you do not by any chance compromise. No compromises in this whole thing. Just be a blessing, the blessing that God has created you to be. To be honest, the devil is afraid. He is afraid. He is afraid. The moment you get up and you begin to push a divine assignment, the moment you become a blessing to the lives and the people around you, the moment you are so clear about who you are and you're not afraid of being rejected, you're not afraid of being sidelined, you're not afraid of being looked down upon, you're not afraid of being spit at, you're not afraid of being beaten, you're not afraid of being persecuted for the sake of of proclaiming and moving nothing but the divine will of God. The moment you stand in the gate and begin to do the things that God has called you to be, the moment you become that man and woman that God has called you to be, the moment you begin to push a divine assignment in another person's life, one amazing thing happens. Doors in your very own life begins to open. You see, Paul writes and it says, "For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of God unto salvation." Notice, you begin to experience the power of God the moment you are pushing and advancing the will and the plan and the purposes of the living God in someone else's life. The moment you are advancing the plans and the purposes of the living God, you become a blessing. And the moment you become a blessing, the Bible is very clear. It tells us that the power of God is revealed. So the big question is, do you want to see the power of God in your life? The only way the power of God is going to be revealed in your life is when you become a blessing. The moment you begin to push his agenda, the moment you begin to push his agenda, see, notice what the Bible says. The Bible says, "Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you." Do you want all these things to be added to you? The very simple thing that you have to do is you have to push the divine will of God. The moment you begin to proclaim the goodness of the living God in the lives of the people around you, stuff has got nothing but no choice but to pursue you. Things begin to pursue you, and you don't pursue things. You begin to live a miracle life, like your life is just characterized with miracles. Miracles begin to pursue you. Miracles begin to look for you, simply because you would have discovered exactly who you are in God and what are the things that God would have wanted you to do. So the secret to discovering who you are is by simply starting to do a simple thing, by simply declaring that I am a blessing to the people around me, and I'm going to behave and act like a blessing to the people around me. And to say I am not going to be manipulated by demons, I am not going to be molested by demons, and I'm not going to listen to demonic to demonic thoughts telling me that, oh, I got to be accepted. I got to feel, I need to be part of the clique. No. You don't need to be part of any clique. Let me tell you something. These people are in need in as much as you are also in need. See, they want to be accepted, and don't try to be accepted by men, but be accepted by God. Because when you are accepted by God, then in turn, you're going to be accepted by man. The greatest form of acceptance that can ever happen in the life of an individual is when they're accepted by God. There is so much joy in knowing that I'm accepted by God. You see, there is this level of peace that comes on a person who knows that they are accepted of